Does the ache ever truly leave, even when your lips curve upwards for the world to see? You walk through the motions, don't you? Navigate the crowded streets, the fluorescent aisles of the grocery store, the forced pleasantries at work, even the hollow laughter at a social gathering, all while a silent scream echoes in the chambers of your heart. It's a peculiar, isolating performance, this smiling facade you've become so adept at maintaining. People comment on your strength, your resilience, how well you seem to be doing, and each compliment feels like a tiny, sharp betrayal of the truth churning inside. They see the composed exterior, the carefully applied mask, but they have no concept of the hidden landscape within, the desolate plains of sorrow, the sudden, treacherous cliffs of despair, the relentless undercurrent of tears that flow just beneath the surface, always threatening to breach the dam. This isn't about deception, not really, it's about survival. It's about protecting yourself from the awkward pity, the clumsy condolences, the sheer exhaustion of explaining a pain that feels fundamentally inexplicable to those who haven't walked this shadowed path. It's also, perhaps, about protecting them, shielding others from the raw, uncomfortable reality of your grief, a grief that society often prefers to keep neatly tucked away, acknowledged only in hushed tones and brief, acceptable bursts. You've learned the secret language of loss, where I'm fine translates to unfragmenting, but I won't burden you with the pieces, and it's getting better really means the waves of agony are slightly further apart today, but the ocean of sadness remains just as deep. The shocking truth, the one whispered only in the dead of night when the mask finally cracks, is that this performance drains you in ways nothing else can. It consumes energy you barely have, demanding a constant vigilance, a relentless monitoring of your expressions, your tone, your very posture, lest the carefully constructed illusion shatters. You feel like an imposter in your own life, smiling at jokes you don't find funny, nodding along to conversations that feel utterly meaningless against the backdrop of your profound loss. The world moves on, relentlessly cheerful, infuriatingly normal, while your internal world remains frozen at the epicenter of the earthquake that shattered your reality. And the loneliness, oh, the profound, soul-deep loneliness of inhabiting this dual existence, smiling on the outside while weeping within, is a burden almost too heavy to bear. You see others laughing, genuinely carefree, and a pang of envy mixes with the sorrow, a longing for a time before, a time when smiles weren't armor but genuine expressions of untainted joy. You wonder, does anyone truly see past the smile? Does anyone sense the tremor in your voice, the slight dimming in your eyes, the invisible tears tracing paths down your soul? Sometimes, a well-meaning friend might say, "You seem quiet today," and the urge to unleash the torrent is almost overwhelming, but the fear of the aftermath, the discomfort, the inability to truly understand, forces the words back down, reinforcing the invisible walls around your grief. This hidden sorrow becomes a secret companion, always present, influencing every interaction, every decision, every quiet moment. It's a constant negotiation between the person you present to the world and the person who exists behind closed doors, curled up under the weight of absence. You might find yourself avoiding certain places, certain songs, certain memories, because they threaten to crack the facade in public, revealing the vulnerability you fight so hard to conceal. The energy required for this constant vigilance is staggering, a hidden cost of grief that few acknowledge. It explains the bone-deep weariness that settles in your soul, the exhaustion that sleep doesn't touch. It's the fatigue of pretending, of holding back the floodgates day after day. Yet, there's a complex layer to this smile, isn't there? It's not always just a mask. Sometimes, paradoxically, it's also a lifeline. It's a deliberate choice, an act of defiance against the darkness that threatens to consume you entirely. It's a way of honoring the love you lost, a testament to the joy they brought into your life, even if accessing that joy now feels like reaching through thick, suffocating fog. Perhaps, in those fleeting moments, the smile is a prayer whispered without words, a plea for normalcy, a desperate grasp for a semblance of the life you once knew. And here lies a profound, often overlooked insight into the nature of grieving. It is not a linear process with a neat beginning and end. It's messy, contradictory, and deeply personal. You can hold immense sorrow and a flicker of hope simultaneously. You can weep uncontrollably in the shower and manage a composed smile for the delivery driver minutes later. This duality isn't a sign of being stuck or not grieving properly. It's the very essence of navigating life after loss. The internal tears are valid, the public smile is understandable, and sometimes, they coexist in the same fragile human heart. There's a spiritual dimension to this internal struggle, too. You might find yourself wrestling with God, questioning His plan, His silence, His perceived absence in the face of your overwhelming pain. Where was He when your world went silent? Why does He allow this chasm between your inner reality and your outer presentation? These are not questions of failing faith, but signs of an active faith, a faith that dares to engage with the hardest parts of existence. You might cry out in prayer, the raw, unfiltered anguish pouring forth in the privacy of your connection with the divine, finding a sanctuary where the mask isn't needed, where every tear is seen and understood without judgment. And sometimes, perhaps surprisingly, you feel a gentle presence, a quiet strength that isn't your own, holding you together when you feel like falling apart. Maybe that public smile, at times, isn't entirely forced. Maybe it's a reflection, however faint, of a deeper truth, the truth that God's love persists even in sorrow, that His grace provides moments of respite, tiny glimpses of light in the prevailing darkness. Perhaps He grants you the strength to offer that smile, not as a denial of your pain, but as an act of courage. Unexpressed grief can fester, manifesting as anxiety, depression, chronic fatigue, or a sense of profound disconnection from oneself and others. It's vital to find safe harbors where the mask can come down, even if just for a little while. This might be with a trusted friend who doesn't flinch from your pain, a support group where shared experiences create a powerful bond of understanding, a therapist who can provide tools and validation, or simply in the solitude of prayer and reflection, allowing God to witness your unvarnished truth. You don't have to perform strength for everyone, all the time. Allowing yourself moments of authentic expression, letting the tears flow when they need to, is not self-indulgence, it's essential self-care, a necessary release valve. Another hidden truth is that grief changes us fundamentally. You are not the same person you were before the loss, and you never will be. Trying to return to normal is like trying to fit into clothes that no longer fit. The journey isn't about erasing the scar, it's about integrating the loss into the fabric of who you are now. This new self might be more sensitive, perhaps more compassionate, certainly more aware of life's fragility, and yes, someone who sometimes smiles while crying inside. And that is okay. It is more than okay, it is human. It is the reality of loving deeply and losing greatly. The pressure to present a perpetually happy face denies this profound transformation. Embrace the complexity. Acknowledge the sorrow that lingers. Understand that the smile you show the world might be a shield, a prayer, an act of courage, or simply the best you can do on any given day. It doesn't negate the tears shed in private, the ache that resides in your core. Both are part of your story now. Both deserve compassion, especially from yourself. Be gentle with your heart. Recognize the immense effort it takes to navigate the world with this inner duality. Some days the smile will feel more genuine than others. Some days the tears will stay hidden, and other days they might unexpectedly spill over. There is no right or wrong way to feel, no set timeline for when the inner crying should cease. It may soften, it may change its rhythm, but the echo of loss often remains, a testament to the love that endures. Find solace where you can, in faith, in memory, in connection, in nature, in the quiet moments where you allow yourself to simply be, tears, smiles, and all. Let your prayer be not just for strength, but for acceptance, acceptance of the ongoing reality of your grief, acceptance of your own resilience, and acceptance of the messy, beautiful, heartbreaking complexity of being human. Your journey is uniquely yours, witnessed by a God who understands the language of tears even when they flow unseen behind a carefully constructed smile. Honor both the public face and the private heart, for they are both sacred landscapes of your experience, shaped by love, loss, and the enduring quest for peace. Let the smile be your shield when necessary, but never let it convince you that the hidden tears aren't real, valid, and profoundly important. They are the rain watering the seeds of healing, even when the sun forces you to look bright.